Hello friends, how is everybody today? I hope you guys are all staying dry because we are definitely not staying dry here. I so badly wanted to get outside and film this intro for y'all outdoors, but that's just not gonna happen. Mother Nature is being a little bit cranky around here and all it does is just rain, rain, rain. So anyway, here we are indoors. And I'm capturing just a teeny weeny little bit of the outside. You can see the storm brewing out there. But anyway, here we are. So I'm really looking forward to spending time with y'all today. We are going to be doing a whole bunch of different DIYs. We're going to be working on some projects for your outdoor decor. So we're going to be a little bit all over the place. We're going to be working in the studio, and we're going to head out into the shop. We're just going to be just kind of everywhere. But I've got some fun projects planned. We're going to work on 5 different DIY projects for your outdoor decor. So let's just jump on into it. Oh yes, it is storming. It is storming. So I am kind of like over it. All I can do is just kind of laugh about it because this weather is not cooperating with my filming. Anyway, we're just gonna laugh this off. So for our first project today, I'm sorry if it gets really loud, but it is pouring down rain. And I didn't care. I was determined. So we're just going to stand outside with the umbrella and hope that none of us get wet. So our first project today is going to be a couple of things that I wanted to do for the walls, the exterior walls of my front garden area. And they were just looking a little bit blank. And so I wanted to do something to spruce them up. So I came up with a couple of different ideas. And so let's just go jump into the shop and see if we can make those ideas work and come to life.
Okay, y'all, so this project we are going to work on some cute little dragonflies. I found the inspiration piece on Pinterest and just thought it would be so fun to recreate these. So we are going to cut them out using some old cedar that we had from a garden bed that we had in our backyard. So we're just gonna recycle this cedar and cut our dragonflies out of it. Michael is sketching them out for me, and once we get them sketched out, we'll take them over to the scroll saw and cut them out. And you can see up there in the corner a picture of my little inspiration piece. So we are gonna go for that. That's the look that we are going for. And here we are, just cutting them out on the scroll saw. Michael and I are going to take turns cutting these out because I really love using the scroll saw. So he's cutting out the bodies of the dragonflies, and then I will cut out the wings. Okay, so we've got the dragonfly bodies cut out, and now I am going to cut out all of the wings, and we are making 2 of these dragonflies, so we will cut out 8 in total, 8 wings in total. So this is what the dragonfly will look like. These are all the parts cut out, and I wanted to just give each one of these dragonflies a slight tint of color. So I'm going to use some Waverly chalk paint in the color turquoise, and then I'm also using lavender, and I'm going to just dry brush these using very, very little paint on my brush. You'll see that I add some and then I dab it off because I really just want to give each of these a slight tint of color. I don't want to fully cover them. So I'm going to do some of the wings in the turquoise and some of them in lavender. Another technique that you could use with these if you wanted just a little bit, if you wanted a slightly bit more color but still wanted that aged look, you could add more color to them and then just give them a quick sanding. But the reason I chose not to do that is because this cedar, like I said, was from an old garden bed that we had, and it was already really aged, and I really liked that aged look. So I didn't really want to cover that up, nor did I want to sand it off. So that's why I chose to just do this dry brushing technique and give them a slight tint of color. Now I'm going to give the dragonfly bodies a slight tint also, and I'm going to be just using some Waverly chalk paint for this as well in the color ink. And I'm kind of going to mix a little bit of the lavender and a little bit of the turquoise in with my black also, just to kind of give the dragonfly body a little bit of that iridescent look. It's very subtle, but it is slightly there. Now we are going to assemble these, and I'm just going to lay the wings out and sort of get a feel for how I want them positioned on the dragonfly's body, and then I will screw each of the wings to the back of the body. And this is how I attach them together. I just used 2 screws in each of the wing. And now we are going to pre-drill a hole here so that we can hang them on the house. And Michael is now attaching them to the house for me. He so graciously offered to do this part for me. He's such a good guy. I don't know what I would do without him.
Yeah, that looks good, I think. I hope.
Okay, so for our next project, we are going to make a couple of wreaths. We're going to make a small one and then a really, really big one. And you've seen me make wreaths before, but I'll just, if in case you are new here and visiting for the first time, I'll just go through this process really quickly with you. I do like to use wire wreath forms, that's a mouthful, to connect all of my greenery, and I also use zip ties. I really like this. I really like the wire forms because they're really sturdy, and it's so much easier to attach with zip ties on the wire forms than any of the other forms. And I don't like using floral wire and floral tape, so this just works really well, and it holds the greenery in place very well. That greenery is not going to go anywhere. So we finished our little wreath, and now we are going to build a great big wreath, and this will also hang above that garden area out front on the opposite side of the window from the dragonflies. with this larger wreath, I'm going to be layering a lot of different types of greenery. So I started the base with one of my bigger greeneries that, you know, is more full and fluffy, I guess you could say, for lack of better words. And then I'm going to just add a couple of different types of greenery. I'm going to put some lamb's ear on this and a little bit of boxwood. And the boxwood is what I started with, and then we'll do like a succulent type thing, and then I'll probably add some lavender in as well. So I just am gonna go with the layered look for this one to make it really full and give it lots of character and dimension and depth. So this is how she looks, all finished. I really like it. It came out very, very good. So now we'll just take it outside and hang it up on the wall.
And the second project that we're going to work on, well actually I guess it would be the third project because we kind of did two for the front, but there was this small area by my front door that was looking really bare and kind of sad, and so I came up with an idea to make maybe a cute little bee themed sign for the front door. So we're going to go work on that and I'll see you in the shop. Let's see what happens with that idea.
For this project, we are going to be making a sign, and I'm going to use my silhouette cutter to cut out this cute little bee themed stencil. And right now after I weeded the whole project, I put some transfer tape on it. I'm sorry I didn't get that on film. I thought I had hit record and apparently I did not. Anyway, so now I'm just transferring it onto our wooden pieces, and then we are going to paint in the stencil part. I don't know if that made sense, but you'll see. So after I smoothed the whole thing out, I'm going to go ahead and remove the transfer tape. And this part is a little fiddly. A lot of the parts in this stencil were really tiny, and so I was having a really hard time getting everything to stick down to this wood. This wood is a very textured wood, and things were just not wanting to stick. You'll see, it kind of gave me a little bit of trouble. So anyway, I'm just going to peel back this transfer tape so that we can move on with painting in the stencil part. So my best advice when removing your transfer tape from the stencil is to go slow, take your time, and be patient, especially when you have a stencil with a whole bunch of small parts like this one does. So just be patient and take your time. So now we're going to move on to painting this, and I'm going to be using Waverly chalk paint in the color ink. When you are painting with a stencil, it is super important to use a really good stippling brush, and it is also important to use a very light layer of paint with your first coat. And the best way to apply this is a light layer of paint on your brush in a pouncing straight up and down motion. This will help prevent bleeding. If you do it this way, you should get very clean lines when you go to remove your stencil. So we will cover this entire thing with a light layer of paint, let it dry completely, and then go back over it with a second coat. Now that we have let our paint completely dry, I did put 2 coats of paint on this. It is time to remove the stencil and all of the teeny weeny little parts. And I think I get a good close-up shot of this later for you guys, and you will see that I did not get hardly any bleeding in this with this stencil at all, and that is because I used a light layer of paint and used that soft pouncing motion with my stippling brush. So I am very pleased with how this came out. It looks really cute, and I'm really impressed with my cutter actually. This one, I put my cutter through a lot with this one, and it did a fantastic job. There's a lot of little details in this stencil. So yes, I'm pleased with how it came out. It looks great. Going to stencil on our letters, and right here I am just weeding out all the excess vinyl that we won't be using. And I actually like this process. There's just something very satisfying about weeding your vinyl after you've cut it out on the cutter. So now I'm just going to decide where I want to place our little letters, and then I will apply it with my transfer tape. The transfer tape is used to lift the vinyl from its backing, like you can see here. And you can do this without transfer tape, but it's a lot more difficult, and your vinyl can get all wrinkled, and it's just a messy situation. So I highly recommend using a good transfer tape to do this. So I will get it all put down, we'll remove the transfer tape, and then we will stencil on the paint in the same exact method that we used on our little bee in the wreath. Now that our paint is completely dry, it's time to remove the stencil and all the excess vinyl. Again, I just find this so satisfying. And look how clean those lines are. Y'all, I'm telling you, that stippling method is tried and true. It's a great method for getting nice clean lines with your stencils. Okay, so now I'm going to just attach all of our boards together, and I'm just using hot glue. This is a super good hot glue that I'm using. It's Gorilla Glue, and it's the weatherproof, waterproof, outdoor Gorilla hot glue. So I will just glue this together, and then we will drill some holes in the top for our hanger, and then we'll go hang it outside. Y'all, how cute is this? I really love how this sign turned out. So cute.
So for this next project, we are going to build an Ottoman. I really wanted to build one to go on the deck in front of my chairs sitting out there. I don't know if you can see them through all the rain, but there's the 2 chairs out there on the deck, and I wanted to have an Ottoman, and I came up with this really fun design. And of course I had to recruit Michael's help for this one because it required a little bit of woodworking. So we're gonna head out into the shop now and build an Ottoman. This should be fun.
Okay, y'all, so for this crazy idea of mine, we are going to need a few supplies. We found those wood rounds at Lowe's, and then Michael is cutting all of the slats for me, and you will see what we are going to use those for in just a little bit. So here Michael is being super brilliant and super efficient, and he's just going to tape all of these together so that he can cut them all at once to the proper lengths that we need. and then he will also drill the holes in them because we will need holes in these to attach them to our wood rounds, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So anyway, we're just going to cut them all to length and then move on to the next step. And of course, we can't do a woodworking project without a little fun. Michael made a little Jenga game, I guess that's what you call it, the stacking blocks. And guess who loses? Yep, me. So now we are just going to drill the holes in all of these. And again, he's being brilliant and drilling all the holes at once. And I'm assuming this is going to work. I guess we'll see. Now we are going to take this wood round over to the sander, and we are going to sand off that rounded edge. As you could see, that we had a very rounded edge on that wood round, and we need to knock that rounded edge off. So you can see here how it's very, very rounded. And then after Michael sanded it, he gave us a nice flat edge. And we had to have that flat edge so that the slats would attach to the wood round properly, so they would attach flat. And we ended up not using the screws because it was splitting the wood, so we just used wood glue and our nailer gun to attach all of these. Now for the fun part, you guys. I might be a little bit crazy because my whole idea for this was to create an ottoman with kind of that, tweed rope look. So I am literally going to wrap this entire thing in rope. And this took me about 6 hours. So like I said, I think I might be a little bit crazy. Some DIY projects, I just don't know if they're worth it sometimes, because this literally took me so long. And the top part, just the top part of that took 100 feet of rope. And you can see that little pile back there was all I had left after completely covering the top. So all in all on this, I ended up using 425 feet of rope to cover this crazy thing. And it went pretty smoothly for a little while, going around and around and around until this happened. Yep, I kept fighting this rope, just kept tangling and tangling and tangling. It was a bit of a mess, but here I am just going around and around and around and around and around to cover this entire ottoman in rope. And here is how it looks. It kind of has that nice tweed, or not tweed, not tweed, that's not the word I was looking for, woven look. I think that's the look I was sort of trying to go for. And I decided not to cover the bottom of this with the rope because I was so sick of going around and around and around. So I am painting it in a black outdoor water resistant paint. And here's the final look.
So for our very last project today, we are going to create some really fun outdoor drinkware, like drinkware sets, like glass and pitcher sets. And some of them we're going to do with my silhouette cutter, and then the other ones we're going to try some crochet projects. So we'll see how it goes. I have an idea, and I don't know, sometimes my ideas that I get up here don't always implement into real life the way that I envisioned them. But let's just go ahead and jump into it and see what happens with this one.
So for our final project here, I am going to make some really cute cup holders of sorts. And so I got this inspiration just from, I see them all over. I've seen them on Pinterest, and I just see a lot of them, those really cute like basket weaved cup holders or cup covers. I'm not exactly sure what you call them, but because I don't know how to weave, I decided to crochet some. So that is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to crochet these in the round, and I don't really want to go into like the whole method of crocheting, but someday if you guys are interested, I can do a full tutorial on like some simple crochet stitches and whatnot. But for the time being, I am going to just crochet this one. I'm going to crochet it in the round, and I'm going to try to do it pretty quickly because I'm going to make 6 of these. So let's get to crocheting. So we are making some pretty good progress here. I'm pleasantly surprised at how well this jute is working up. I wasn't sure what it was going to be like crocheting with jute, but it's been wonderful. I've actually enjoyed it. It's not as scratchy as I thought it was going to be, and I wasn't sure if I was going to have really scratched up hands at the end of this, but I didn't, and here's how they turned out. I think they're really, really cute. What do you guys think? They kind of have that fun, summery boho look to them. I like it. So for our next set of glasses, we are going to do something really fun. I found these glasses on Amazon, and I will link them down below for you. So these ones are glass, where the ones that we just did with the cute little boho look, those ones were plastic. So they'll be pretty good for outdoor use on the patio, and these ones will too. They are glass, so you'll just have to be a little bit more careful. But I found this really cool product for my cutter that is supposed to give our glassware this like faux etched look. So I cut these stickers out on my cutter, and I'm just going to use transfer tape to transfer all the stickers onto our glassware. And I know it's a little hard to see these, but don't they just look so pretty? And I found this picture on Amazon too, which I will also link that down below for you. So I just covered these all with these cute, fun little flowers to make this really pretty glassware set for our patio. And I don't know, what do you guys think of this? You'll have to let me know. I thought this was really fun. I thought they came out adorable.
Wow, gosh guys, that was a lot of fun. We did a lot of projects today. We built so many things, and I don't think I could choose a favorite. I never really can, because I actually, at the end of the day, like them all. My least favorite though of these projects would probably be that Ottoman. It did turn out a little bit quirky, a little bit different than what I had envisioned in my mind. I still like it, and it's going to sit out on my deck all summer long. My kids think it looks like a big giant hay bale, and I guess it kind of actually does, but I'm still gonna use it. So that was probably my least favorite. I really loved the dragonflies. The dragonflies look so pretty, and I kind of feel like they just brought a lot of character to the front of the house. So I really like the dragonflies. And our cute little Be Our Guest sign, that came out super cute. It's just a little smaller than I wanted it to be. I had hoped that it would be a little bit bigger, and I'm not sure what I did wrong when I took the measurements for that one. But anyway, that one just came out a little smaller, so I think it could have looked a little bit better if it had been just a smidge larger. So anyway, but I would have to say my favorite was probably the drinkware. I love how all the drinkware came out. I really love our little crochet boho ones. They're just fun. I like those. And the ones that we did with the fun oh gosh, I just lost the word. The ones that we cut out on the cutter with the what's that? What's the word I'm looking for right now? The frosty look? No, that's not the etched. The etched that had the etched glass. Those came out really pretty, and I can see myself using them a lot this summer, and I think I'm gonna really enjoy those. So those were fun. Please let me know in the comments below what you thought your favorite one was. I really love to hear from you guys and would love to know what your favorite project out of all 5 of those was. It's fun to hear from you, so let me know what you enjoyed the most out of all of that. So anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me again today. I love your company and I appreciate you being here with me and taking the time out of your day to just hang out and enjoy some of these projects that we do together. They're always fun and I love your company. And so if you did enjoy today's content, please consider giving me a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And I look forward to seeing you again all next week. I've got some fun projects coming up again next week. We're going to work on a little bit of 4th of July projects or patriotic type projects together. Anyway, I will see you guys next week. Have a great rest of your week and I'll see you later. Bye.